2023 has been a heck of a year, and somehow, miraculously, Taylor Swift not only dominated it by pumping $5 billion into the economy with her Eras tour and becoming Time's Person of the Year, but also, weirdly, her lyrics managed to line up really well with most of the major news stories in politics this year. So here it is, 2023, perfectly captured in 10 Taylor Swift lyrics. And let me say up front that in some cases we snuck in a couple extras, so there are really more than 10 in here. Also, in case you're wondering, yes, I'm definitely a poser. I'm not an actual Swiftie, and I didn't know all this stuff. I do, however, have a crack research team comprised of my 3 kids, age 12, 10, and 7, who have an encyclopedic knowledge of everything having to do with Taylor Swift. All I did was tell them the news stories, and they were able to spit out the perfect Taylor Swift lyric like they were actually ChatGPT. It was kind of creepy. Anyway, here we go. Number 10. Back in April, after wishing upon a star and being turned into a real boy, pathological liar and deplorable racist Tucker Carlson was finally fired from Fox News. Actually, turns out that they didn't mind his racism and lying, but after Fox lost a $787 million lawsuit over slandering Dominion, Fox executives decided that he had gotten too big for his boots, thought he was bigger than they were, which is a big no-no, and needed to get a little payback. Taylor perfectly anticipated this in the song, I Did Something Bad. If a man talks shit, then I owe him nothing. I don't regret it one bit, 'cause he had it coming. Number 9. This was one of the weirdest stories of the year. Maybe I should let this piece of congressional testimony speak for itself.
You've stated that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human.
And that brought to mind the lines from Taylor Swift's Sweet Nothing about something we picked up once and the idea that everyone's up to something.
I spy with my little tired eye, tiny as a firefly, a pebble that we picked up last July. Down deep inside your pocket, we almost forgot it. Does it ever miss Wicklow sometime? They said the end is coming, everyone's up to something.
Number 8 is one where we just had to sneak in lyrics for more than one song. I'm talking here about the saga of Kevin McCarthy. First, there was the 15-vote standoff back in January, where a group of MAGA Republicans said that Kevin McCarthy, the most MAGA dude to ever MAGA down the pike, the guy who literally rehabilitated Donald Trump after January 6th, was somehow insufficiently MAGA to be the speaker. So we just knew this was all going to end badly. Or as Taylor would put it,
I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
And then inevitably, everything did go south toward the end of the summer when Crazy Eyes Matt Gaetz, led his own insurrection against the head congressional insurrectionist. It was very meta. It was also pretty well summed up by this Swift song. Finally, we had McCarthy's inevitable decision to just take his football and go home by quitting Congress in a huff, or as Taylor would put it,
Rip the Band-Aid off and skip town like an asshole outlaw.
Number 7. Remember the Chinese spy balloon that we shot down? Well, Taylor sure did. Or she seemed to know it was coming.
Fly when you're soaring through the sky. Shoot you down and then they sigh.
Number 6. Back in March, Donald Trump became the first former U.S. president to get indicted for committing a crime. That was followed by 3 more indictments for a total of 91 felony counts. Of course, he hasn't been convicted yet, but Taylor summed up the feelings for most of us.
No, there ain't no doubt. Somebody's gotta catch him out. 'Cause I think he did it, but I just can't prove it. I think he did it, but I just can't prove it.
Number 5. 2023 was the year of the months-long Hollywood strike. Taylor was all over it in her song Tolerate It, where she summed up the writer's bargaining position pretty nicely.
You assume I'm fine, but what would you do if I break free and leave us in ruins? Took this dagger in me and removed it.
For number 4, we're cheating again. Look, this is a Taylor Swift-inspired countdown, so we can talk about cheating. We're going to sneak 2 songs in here. Marjorie, and This Is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. Can you guess who we're talking about? Yep, it's our favorite MAGA frenemies, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. They kicked off their year first with Marge dressing like Cruella de Vil and screaming at the State of the Union, just a class act, and then sort of descending from there into even more meanness and stupidity, which Taylor captured so perfectly in this song that I have to wonder whether it was actually named after MTG, because she seems to have a hard time being kind or clever.
Never be so kind, you forget to be clever. Never be so clever, you forget to be kind.
Meanwhile, Lauren Boebert did her part to lower everyone's expectations of our public officials to rock bottom by getting into a fight with MTG in a bathroom and then yelling, vaping, and groping her way to getting kicked out of a theater, which is why Americans' approval of Congress is at an historic low, why Congress under Republican leadership of the House got absolutely nothing done this year, and in general, why
This is why we can't have nice things, darling. Because you break them, I have to take them away.
Number 3 is a fun one. The biggest star in the world, in the biggest sport in the world, lands in the U.S. And of course, the most fitting lyric for Lionel Messi coming to Major League Soccer is from Superstar.
Give me a photograph to hang on my wall. Superstar.
Number 2 is unfortunately a very serious one. In one of the most heartbreaking stories of 2023, the war between Israel and Hamas, I find it hard to speak about myself, and the song Epiphany captured that feeling pretty well.
Keep your helmet, keep your life on, just a flesh wound. Here's your rifle. I think he's bleeding out. Some things you just can't speak about.
And finally, number 1, the story that is probably on most of our minds as we end 2023 and look ahead to 2024, the question of whether, despite his crimes, his insurrection, his turn to full fascism, we might actually end up re-electing Donald Trump as president. He and his team have literally laid out their plans in hundreds of pages of documents to end American democracy as we know it. What he's promising, and the lyrics that captured it all, comes from Taylor Swift's song, Look What You Made Me Do.
Maybe I got mine, but you'll all get yours.
But look, even though 2023 was a bummer in many ways, we can't exactly end on that note. So let's go out on a happier one and with high hopes that if we all stick together and you stay with us here on this channel, things next year will be looking up, as Taylor Swift puts it.